Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome to It's a Shaw Thing. I'm your host, Rob Shaw, here to talk a little fantasy football. Today we discuss news and notes to get you caught up on what you might have missed out as far as the headlines from this past weekend when it comes to injuries. We start off with the Detroit Lions, who might have had the most impressive fantasy performance this weekend. However, with a short work week, it looks like we're not going to see much fantasy value from them this upcoming week against the Green Bay Packers. The reason? Calvin Johnson recently coming off a 161-yard receiving performance with a touchdown. Not expected to suit up in this one because of an injury. We then move on to this quarterback who was fantastic with 5 touchdowns this weekend, over 420 passing yards. But Matthew Stafford probably to rest this weekend against the Packers. He's a guy who actually went through a bad shoulder injury. You might recall in the final minutes of that game, he hurt his shoulder, still went out there and ended up throwing a touchdown with no time remaining on the clock. Great performance from him. Just don't expect one from him this upcoming week. Next up, we move to another quarterback, this time for the St. Louis Rams. Typically a good quarterback to have this time of year because of the fact that they play indoors. However, Mark Bulger is going to have no such value because of an injury to him. This is a quarterback who is injury prone, and it looks like he broke or fractured his kneecap this past weekend against the Arizona Cardinals, threw for over 210 passing yards. But that's going to be pretty much it for Bulger, perhaps for the season. So all those wide receivers on the Rams like Donnie Avery, you have to ignore. Steven Jackson, the only player with fantasy value. We move on to the Seattle Seahawks, who I think are playing the St. Louis Rams this weekend. Don't expect much from the running game because Julius Jones is expected to return this weekend. Not necessarily a knock on him, but the fact is Justin Forsett has been fantastic recently, most recently putting up 80-plus receiving yards, including a touchdown for the Seahawks. But Julius Jones is back, and he's expected to play this weekend, so split backfield means that neither running back will likely have any fantasy value. And then we finish up with Ladell Betts, the backup running back for the Washington Redskins. Of course, he was filling in for Clinton Portis, who suffered a concussion a couple of weeks earlier. Portis not expected back anytime soon, and now the same could be said about Betts. This is a player who went out there and ended up tearing his MCL and ACL this weekend. Tough break for him. Rock Cartwright went in and had a fantastic performance. So if you're going to go roll with a running back for the Skins, Cartwright is the player to know. Well, my friends, that's all for now. We'll get you ready for the big Turkey Day matchups later on in the week. Until then, have a great day.